Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Beast. Welcome back to another reaction. Today, we're listening to Halo by Tiffany Day. I know I said I was going to stop doing new albums, but you guys spoke and I so listened. Yeah, this was another one I was going to do at some point, but I feel like the reception to do this album has been overwhelming to the point where I can't avoid it. So some of these other albums, you know, we'll get to you. Listen, if you're putting in the comment section asking for Olivia Rodrigo or another Ariana reaction, soon. We got to hit up Tiffany first. Tiffany, what do we know about Tiffany? Not a whole lot. Bada bing, bada boom. That's all we really got to say there. I have been seeing a whole lot of hype previously to you guys kind of putting me on. I've been seeing a little bit of exposure on Twitter. I have heard American Girl. I've probably heard a couple of these songs, maybe just through snippets on social media. Again, I feel like the promotion for this has been pretty fantastic. I feel like it's been kind of hard to avoid. So I think by title, I might know like the chorus, The Same LA, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I've heard some discourse, which I'm not going to play into just because I just don't know her. So please fill me a little bit on background if you know. But some people are saying that maybe this is a little bit of a change in sound for her. Maybe it's not. Let me know, because on the other hand, I think it could be also cool to maybe react to some of her other music if we like this one. So let me know if there's sort of a genre change here or kind of the artistic progression there. I'd like to hear, but then maybe we can go back and listen to it and find out for ourselves where these changes happen. Or maybe it's the kind of sound she's always been on. I don't know. And the internet just be saying things. But real quick, let's read some of the genres here just to get that out of the way. I don't think this is really too much of a spoiler, but it looks like the main genres are going to be electro pop and electro house, and some subgenres being dance pop, bubblegum bass. So that is actually a little bit of a curveball there. Complectro and electro clash. So cool stuff. As per usual, say it with me now, you know the drill. I'm going to read the Genius background real quick here, just to maybe learn a little bit more about Tiffany, but then we're going to be kind of hands-off in terms of lyrics. Try to make our own interpretations. I'm not entirely sure how lyrically focused this is going to be, if at all, if it's just going to be fun, but whatever it is, I'm here for it. So let's get a quick little background here. Halo is the highly anticipated sophomore studio album by Chinese-American singer-songwriter Tiffany Day, released on April 3rd, 2026 through Broke Records. The album serves as a candid reflection on Day's personal growth, anxieties, and her journey through the uncertainties of youth. Halo builds upon the electronic and hyperpop elements hinted at in her previous work with recently released singles like Pretty For You and American Girl. Okay, good to know. This is kind of a progression of those sounds. Instead of merely extending her previous catalog, the project fully immerses itself in these textures, marking a natural evolution of Day's sound. Damn, whoever wrote this Genius background is kind of cooking here. Written after a period of self-doubt and uncertainty about Day's music career, the project reflects her renewed motivation and connection with fans, and she has described it as some of her best work to date. Okay, yeah, I love that. I think I've been kind of noticing a little bit of a trend here with some of these albums that have been coming out from seemingly like these newer artists that are kind of breaking out, most notably the Slater album that came around the same time, maybe even same day. I know that this came out around that like couple week period. But I know Slater was in kind of a similar position of, you know, feeling like she maybe had something to, you know, prove to the music industry, but, you know, it seemed like she was kind of maybe ready to throw in the towel, or she had her own doubts in her own music, and made something pretty fantastic. So if we're in the same sort of emotional ballpark there, and, you know, we get the same sort of output and end product, we might be in for a banger. So, but I think that's pretty much it. I don't think we have really too much to talk about. Again, this is going to be kind of an introduction to me to Tiffany, so I guess I'll let her kind of explain herself to me in the music. But last thing, as per usual, these videos, plug time, these videos are always unedited early on Patreon, so if you want to check that out, links will be down below. And a couple other things that I want to plug here. These reactions are always done live on Twitch too, so if you want to check that out, these are typically done on Mondays, except when I don't. Another thing about that scheduling, if you want to hop in the Discord channel, because we got that kind of popping right now, links for that and everything else will be down below. Come hang out, say hi, let's talk music. But otherwise, I appreciate you being here, just watching this video. So let's get into track one, Everything I've Ever Wanted. There may be transitions, there may not be. I'll try my best to, I don't know. I guess we'll figure out if I'm going to pause before them or I'll let them lead in and then go back. But at the very least, we'll go back if we pause beforehand. But let's get into track one, Everything I've Ever Wanted, Tiffany Day. Let's learn a little bit about her.
This is everything I've ever wanted. Why does it feel like something's missing? Got a question, is this actually real? I've never been able to see myself as somebody more, somebody like the other bodies on my screen I adore. And if I got a little love from you, is it just my luck, or do you actually believe
I love the timbre of this squelching like pad thing in the background.
See, I'm terrified that I don't really know myself well. I get too influenced in and over my head. I can't tell what's really me or really you. The lines are always a blur. I feel this pity deep inside me. I'm self-conscious, it hurts. So I keep living.
Ooh, okay.
Meeting people I love, but I can't tell if they think I'm somebody worthy of trust. I always dreamed about these moments. Now they're actually real.
Okay, hang on. I was a little bit transfixed on the production here. I'm gonna pause just for a brief moment and just kind of run this back real quick. I really want to focus on the lyrics here.
I keep living out my dreams and meeting people I love, but I can't tell if they think I'm somebody worthy of trust. I always dreamed about these moments. Now they're actually real. But somehow I'm stuck in my head and I don't know how to feel. I thought that maybe if I signed a piece of paper, my life would be the way that I imagined. Everything would be right, and now the paper's right in front of me, the pen in my hand. But God, I'm terrified of it, and I just don't understand. I'm a passion for the thing that raised me up as a child.
I'm not saying a whole lot. I'm just
how I don't even smile when something good comes crashing into me. It's like I can't breathe, 'cause all I think about is when that good thing finally leaves. If this is everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever wanted, why does it feel like this is everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever wanted, why
good chord.
does it feel like this is everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever wanted, why does
okay. We're rising here. I'm gonna unfortunately have to pause just so I can say something so I don't get striked by YouTube. But wow, what? It kind of, I know we're like quite literally just a couple minutes in here, but it already kind of got me a little bit emotional. Definitely understand the feelings of imposter syndrome and having something that like art giving you joy. I kind of touched about this a little bit pre-stream, but obviously you probably weren't there if you're watching on the YouTube video, so I'll do a little bit of kind of reiteration here. But I think anyone who's dabbled in any sort of art knows the feeling of having self-doubt in their own art, either from projections from other people or within themselves, and where that line kind of becomes blurred. Well, okay. Nope. Okay. Not even no pun intended, but like, I know that's literally the line, but like, that's quite literally just is what it is. And I think that's just me saying that unconsciously without even looking at the lyric. I know I just kind of saw it afterwards. It's just like, she's doing a fantastic job of just painting this experience to me. That's kind of in a type of way. If she doesn't open up her concerts with this, I would be pretty upset, because this quite literally feels like a concert opener, especially if this sounds like this might transition into track 2. But yeah, great vocal layering. I really love that she's kind of doing this. I think Frost Children did it on their opener as well. What is it? Position Famous, where they kind of did like the same vocal melody like in the contour, but obviously just kind of kept building and building and building with all these other layers. So like, you know how the melody goes, but obviously the words are changing. Everything around it is changing, but I think that kind of leads to this a little bit more like anthemic feeling as well, where it's kind of like a repeatable passage. It's a little bit more chantable, even if you don't really know the lyrics, which again, I think would lead fantastically to a concert opener as well. So let's get rolling here. Let's back up just, and then I'm probably going to let this just transition again. Maybe there's transition, maybe there's not, but it feels like we're building something. I'm turning this up in my headphones. Oh, that chord there. Ooh.
Real. I've never been able to see myself as somebody or somebody like the other bodies on my screen. I adore.
Ooh, okay. I was almost unsure for a second if we were gonna get that transition, but I gotta note it real quick, because this is just like a fantastic, like old school, like styling. I love this like early 2000s, like not exactly Alberti bass, because that's like a classical styling, but like this like octave bass thing going on with this chord progression. So like Euro, like, I don't know, just like a traditional like dance styling. I love that she's opening up the gate with this.
I've got a lot of nerve trying to be the cool kid in the room, but no one even asked for it. And I don't really think I fit in here. You told me once when I was a girl that if I'm really golden, no one ever questioned
Heard that vocal chop kind of filling in there. I love this like ARP synth top thing going on here. Okay. Wow, that bass went down, got so thick there. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick pause. I'm gonna read back a little bit on the lyrics again. I've been a little bit transfixed on the production. I feel like I'm just, as mentioned in the first track, with just kind of my experience, I feel like I'm a little bit more production leaning in terms of what I primarily focus on first listen. But I really want to try to lock in on the lyrics as well, especially from that first track. I feel like there's going to be, I want to pay more attention to that. So if I go back, forgive me. But it's so funny, I won't look at my name lit up on my phone screen. Can't even imagine what they're saying about me. Okay, kind of ironic. I've been seeing a whole lot of discourse online about whatever. I feel like a lot of people have been having Tiffany Day in their mouth. And again, without me knowing the music and knowing like not a whole lot about the circumstances, either with like the whole producer thing or like, I don't know. I don't totally know everything. Just again, I'm just kind of being a little bit of a fly in the wall in the internet space here. It seems like she's pretty much in the clear of all this stuff, or like people saying that she's doing like other styles, that this is like uncharacteristic for her. From what it sounds like it from the Genius breakdown and what I know, it doesn't seem like it, but I think it's kind of just ironic that she's mentioning her interpretation of kind of this reception. And man, she's been getting a whole lot of it lately, but I'm hoping she's thugging it out. So, all right, let's run this back here. Yeah, you want it all. Hell yeah. Okay. Ooh, okay. Nice little production pick out. Doing this is where everyone in the audience claps. Put your hands up. Open that up. Open that up. Okay, keep going. God, this mix is so dense with these synths that the clap is even just so quiet in the background. Wow, this production is so layered right now. Okay, maybe transition? I don't know. I'm gonna do a quick skim through on the producers, Tiffany Day and Mel for the first, wait, actually, hang on. There's this producer, Tiffany Day. Okay. Tiffany, producer for the second track too. Okay. I was going to say, I was kind of curious about who, if she has collaborators. I feel like that's always something to kind of look at for some of these albums that feel like really conceptually dense or whatnot, or at least have like a certain conceptual vibe at the very least, if not lyrical content. But I feel like this is kind of doing all that, whatever. But obviously it makes sense that Tiffany's doing all the producing too. So love that as well. I feel like some of my favorite artists are artists that do it themselves. I feel like I mentioned this in, I think, the Ethel Cain reaction. I don't know. I feel like there's just something. Obviously, you can work with incredible producers that can try to extrapolate as close as you want, or as close to like your original meaning for what you're trying to get out instrumentation wise, as much as you are trying to present to them. But I feel like sometimes, maybe not even sometimes, maybe all the time, I feel like you'll never get, well, because it's not from the artist, like you'll never get it 100% truly distilled. You can get pretty damn close. Don't get me wrong. There's millions of bajillions of fantastic songs where producers, are the producers. But I think there's just something so uniquely intimate about an artist doing everything, and especially with as emotional of a track about the music experience as the first track is, and this kind of feeling like a cathartic release of that for the second track. Really great bit of intel. I love that. Okay. let's back this up real quick. Gonna hear this transition into Same LA. Now again, that title sounds a little bit familiar. Maybe I saw like a snippet on Twitter, but at the very least, I haven't really heard it very close attention. And it was on my damn phone. So track 3, Same LA. Let's hear this lead in. A little bit of a fade out lead in. Okay. I think I know this one. Okay.
Pass me the blunt, but I'll cough when I hit it. I wanna
Real?
get high like you do. I take a sip, too embarrassed to admit it. Into
Wow.
deep, I just can't tell you.
Oh, that da-na-na-na, that like repeat
That it's not
texture. I don't even know.
moving any slower. So now's my chance, be someone at the party before they say that it's all over. I realized the other day we don't live in the same way. I passed on everything 'cause I'm scared to be. I'm scared to be. I'm scared to talk.
Yeah, okay. This does sound a little bit familiar. Yeah, this is a hit. The contour of this melody is so good. Like, oh, going up there? Oh my god, going up even more. Okay, hang on. I gotta run that back real quick. I gotta hear that. Ooh, okay. I like this little pre-chorus kind of build up. A little bit of a different instrumentation. Ooh, okay. I like that we're keeping this energy, building on it. Okay, we're still going. Oh, I'm turning this up a little bit. One more time. I'm like trying to focus on one thing. Oh man, the pad too? It's just like. And we still got that talk going on in the background too. This is so layered. Shouts out Mel. This has got to be a mixing nightmare. I don't know how you did it, but wow, we're still going. Going back to the guitar thing? Okay, that seemed like a pretty solid transition or whatever. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That was a banger. I think I did hear this one on like a snippet or something, but I don't remember that outro at all. I think that probably might be I don't even want to say that might be my favorite so far, because I still think that the intro track the lyrical content was just too close to home. But as far as bops go, I think that one was fantastic. Also love like the vocal, like the, let's listen here.
I'm scared to talk. Maybe if I talk to you.
I don't know, maybe it's just the way her vocal is processed. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about, like, not how I feel about her vocal, because it's really unique, but I think that's the thing. I think I'm trying to pick up on like who maybe her influences are or whatnot. I'm not totally sure I have a pulse on that quite yet. But the way this is processed is like so crisp. Like when she said talk, the reason I went back to this line is it's just like hard to tell if it was like a copy paste talk like 3 times type thing, or if she actually said talk 3 times. It probably sounds crazy. It just sounds super compressed and like a really, not just like, I'm gonna try my best to explain, but like I feel like it's done in like a really artistic way here, and like listen to that. Maybe if like it's so, you can hear like every detail. Like what is this microphone like? Or even on like you, it's just like the quickest cutoff of all time. Like they don't, like there's no reverb on it. They just cut that off. Like it's so tight, the vocal, which I think is just perfect with this crazy ass everything else going on. Yes, we have like the delay you, but like on the impact of the initial you, like there's no reverb, no delay on it. I don't know. I'm talking crazy right now. But hey, when the music's good, it got me monologuing sometimes. So that's just how it is. Okay, yeah, we're kind of just in banger territory at the moment. Let's get into track 3. This one seems to have a little bit of an uptick in streams. Now, again, you know me, if you've been around here, I'm a little bit of a stream detective when it comes to album sequencing. I'm curious if, I think it said that this was one of the singles along with American Girl. I think that's what it was. Well, at least the 2 singles. But I'm seeing some other bigger stream songs though, so I'm kind of curious about that. Maybe there's a lot of singles, maybe there's only, I don't know. But let's get in track 4, Pretty For You. Let's run back this transition real quick though. Okay. When I go to the club, I want to hear those club classics. Club classics. Club classics. Okay. Okay, hard cut. I love that she's doing these same kind of bass stylings. I know it's very like indicative of like the genres that she's going for, like the electro house and all that. But like, I don't know, like she could have done like very well, like a very sustained bass with kind of get the same vibe. But like the way she's doing like this octave bass thing, like feels really, again, it's such an older bass styling that feels very authentic. Like I feel like she must have grown up on like some of these more like internet sounding songs that had like these kind of basses, kind of like when Porter Robinson goes on like his kind of tangents about these kind of stylings as well. Like you just have to grow up with it type beat. But I'm curious to know what her inspirations are as well, not just vocally but production wise, because it's really a treat kind of hearing these stylings kind of come up again and again. Yeah, she loves this octave bass thing and these little twinkly ARP things going on top. Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh my God. Okay, I gotta run this back again. Dude, this mix is so fat. What? Hey, you know what they say? If you're not redlining, you're not headlining. Holy shit! I gotta like see where this like peaks on a like a limiter or something. This has got to be like redlining the entire time because this chorus is so explosive. I don't even know how to explain it. Classic. Go to the city for me. I'll roll the windows down. Promise I'll feel it for you. Wind in my hair and I know you're there, but I just want the world to see me like you do. I can be pretty for you. I can be pretty too. I can be pretty for you. I can be pretty for you. I can be pretty for you. I can be pretty too. I can be pretty too. Okay, that song, I'm looking here, it seems like a lot of these tracks are pretty short. I kind of love that if we're making more of like I don't know, I feel like this can go both ways, really. I feel like there's some more traditional dance stylings where it's like, yeah, you'll have like a 7+ minute long like house cut, whatever, and you kind of get into the groove or whatever. But like for this, like so dense, distilled, like pop, I don't even want to say maximalism. It's just because it's like, it really is kind of like a few elements, but they're just so turned up. I guess what I'm getting at is I love that like this song, 2 minutes 25 seconds. I love that she kind of knew what she had there, and she could have, you know, throw on a bridge and maybe another outro. You know, maybe would have been cool, but like the song did what it needed to do, and we're moving on. As much as I would love like a longer version of that like drop or whatever, I don't think it needs it. So I'm glad that she knows the pacing of that, because I guess the other argument is if, you know, you have the song go on longer than it needs to be, you can have you'd be stuck with a goose egg section in the middle that's, you know, trying to pad out the song that's just kind of fluff. So I'm glad her vision is concise. But yeah, another banger. Like what was that mix? What was that drop? A couple of the other drops had me gagged, but like that was like, wow, that was crazy. Okay, let's get into track 5, Copycat. It doesn't seem like there's really too much of a transition, but wow, what are we doing here? Like how are these beats so good? Oh, okay. Nice. Ooh. What that texture was. A vocal pitch melody line, interesting. I gotta make the comment. I love that she's using her voice as an instrument so much. I feel like she has such an interesting vocal timbre just in general. But I love the way that she's chopping it up and like playing with it in kind of like not even want to say untraditional ways, but you know, just kind of a little bit like less than what you'd expect. Like she's using her voice as like a synth. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. Jack your swag. Shouts out Jane Remover. Also, Copycat, shouts out underscores as well, and Danny Brown. Okay, we're rising to something. We're getting abducted there at the end. This one was interesting. I feel like I don't want to say I mentioned this there's a couple things I feel like I mentioned time and time again in some of these album reactions, but they're worth repeating. I think this was great kind of track for the album sequencing. The way it started, I thought this was going to be like another and it definitely, you know, it still was, but I feel like the pacing of the drums here kind of slowed down the tempo a little bit, but without being like a slow song. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's just a little bit more stripped back than I feel like some of the other tracks. And I like that we're still keeping up the energy and still having like a little bit of, I guess what I'm getting at. What am I trying to say? I like that we're still using similar sonic palettes throughout so far, but I like that we're kind of touching on slightly different vibes. Like, even if like some of the vibe differences are small, which some of them aren't, some of them are quite large differences, but like, I like that she's really getting the most of her sound, is guess what I'm trying to get at here. Like, this feels like in the context of an album, you know, I feel like around this point we're expecting things to kind of slow down, and this kind of feels like it. Or maybe this is like more so like a transitional track in terms of vibe, which I guess gets us into No Luck. I'm kind of curious where that's going to take us in terms of vibe. we're either gonna pick back up again and then drop down in vibe shortly after, or we're going to drop down now. I'm kind of anticipating it. So I guess we'll see where the vibe kind of goes with No Luck and Breakup. But let's get into track 6, No Luck, and hear how we kind of go here. Because again, we've been kind of on 4 cylinders go mode this whole time so far. So I'm expecting it to kind of chill out. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're slowing things down, but like, there's a slowdown I was expecting, but it's still keeping the energy though. It's not like it's a ballad or anything like that, but like, we still got the drums, you know. Okay, hang on. I gotta run this back.
So I'm seeing a new therapist tomorrow. Maybe she could fix all of the problems. I let myself hold on to the last few years. I don't know how it got so complicated. I miss the days with no medication. How did my life end up like the way this is?
Okay, I'm just gonna keep letting her cook here, cause okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I really appreciate this for the album sequencing, but also her slowing things down here is allowing her to kind of allow me to hear a little bit more of what she's trying to get across here.
I used to be a kid. I'd lay around with nothing to do, nothing to lose. Oh, now I'm alive. I'm wishing I had way more time with you. Why is my health so complicated? So
I used to be a kid. I'd lay around with nothing to do, nothing to lose. Now I'm alive. I'm wishing I had spent more time with you. Okay, I'm gonna maybe touch on that, but let's finish this song here. Ooh. Like these chord change here. Okay. Nice.
I miss the days with no medication. How did my life end up like the way this is? I got no more life.
Okay, doing the chop as the outro. Okay. Okay, instrumental outro. We're gonna let that ride. I'm just kind of curious about who. Maybe I'm digging a little bit too deep here because, like, first part, I was just kind of assuming that talking about don't think anyone would really care if I quit except my mom. At first, I thought she was talking about her relationship with music, but obviously, as we kind of went on, you know, talking about therapy, but also I feel like kind of the biggest portion that's kind of repeated is kind of the days about medication or the phrases about medication. So yeah, I feel like this kind of makes sense for both potentially, where obviously, yeah, your mom would care if you stopped quitting, you know, stop taking your medication and whatnot. But I don't know. I think I also kind of interpreted at first with my initial thoughts of this is, you know, how her mom would react if she quit the music industry or just making music. I don't know what her upbringing is. I don't know if she had kind of overbearing parents or whatnot. I am kind of inserting here. I'm kind of inserting how I feel about that. And that's the beautiful thing about art, is that, you know, we can kind of interpret things in different ways, whatever. Again, I don't know. Maybe that's just me inserting how my thoughts on these things are, but I can definitely understand from the little bit that I know potentially about her background of having potentially parents placing some cards into you to do a certain thing. And yeah, that might be what you want to do, but there may also be a point in time where you want to break from that. So curious to know a little bit more about the lore on that. If it's more about the kind of mental health struggles, or more so on a music front or even with her family front as well. Listen, I think we can kind of extrapolate certain more than one meaning here from things. So, and then the other thing that also kind of got me scratching my head a little bit. Now I'm alive. I used to be a kid. I'd lay around with nothing to do, nothing to lose. Now I'm alive. I'm wishing I had way more time with you. Now, again, me at my old age, I could feel like this could go a couple different ways. Is she talking about her mom again? Is she talking about her relationship with her parents? Is she talking about, again, even if she was talking about her parents, I think there's kind of a couple different ways that you can go about this. If she was struggling with mental health things, or if she is struggling with mental health things at the time, when she was with her family, I feel like there's a lot of self-isolation you can do. And I feel like I've certainly... Again, I'm going to do some self-insertion here a little bit, but I feel like that is something that I definitely have had some regrets in the past of isolating from depression, anxiety, and all that, and regretting it retrospectively, thinking about it. But again, it is what it is. I mean, fortunately, it's a kind of a ball up top moment. Hopefully she can look at these, experiences in retrospect and, not take it so hard. And hopefully she can spend time with these people now. Hopefully that she's in a little bit of a better place. But again, the other thing is, I don't know. I wish I had way more time with you. It's just quite ambiguous line. Like, I don't know if something happened with her mom also. I don't know. But great song. I appreciate it slowed things down. Again, it gave me a little bit of opportunity to be a little bit less zoomer and focus a little bit more on the lyrics. Maybe my interpretations are right or wrong, but they feel right to me. So it was nice to kind of break it down a little bit. So right at the halfway point of the album, let's get into track 7, Breakup. It was kind of enough time yapping about no luck, but let's get into track 7, Breakup. Seems to be a big streamer, one of the biggest on the album, but let's hear how we kind of lead into this. Like an old MP3, like phasing out there. Man, she really loves that damn clap. Real? This is already so catchy. And the synth in the background? Ooh. God, I love the noise on these basses too. There's so much topping on this too. Okay. This one's dense and really like filling things out, but I feel like there's still some room on this one. Okay, some distortion on her vocal here too, I'm picking up. Or a little bit more distortion. Nice. Ooh. Okay, I like this little synth drone thing. Let's do it again. Ooh. I feel like we kind of pulled things a little bit back on that. I kind of like that actually. I'm pretty sure I got the vibes on this one, but let's just do a quick classic me skim through just to feel it out a little bit more, just to be thorough here. Think about it time to time. Think about what it'll be to be with somebody similar. Think about it time to time. Think about what it'll be to be with somebody similar. Just okay, I see. So she's okay. I don't know why I didn't get it on the first pass through. I thought she was talking about that she was with someone that's like her, but I think she's talking more so from this other person's perspective. Yeah, definitely a relatable track. I like that it's. I don't like it, but I like that it's relatable and kind of a fucked up way. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. In the worst ways, relatable. But definitely her mindset of how she feels about her music, and that's just, again, it's just kind of textbook, going through, I know the last song was mentioning her going through, mental illness. And yeah, this unfortunately just this thought process trickles down into all aspects of life, of doubting not just your professional work or what you do for fun, or also your relationships, or it's really a parasite. So at the very least, I hope that she is with someone that can, one, understands, but two, can make her or help her appreciate not what she has with the other person, but also what she has with herself as well. I know it's kind of a loaded thing for me to say. Obviously, it's a hell of a lot easier to say than to do. Again, this is very bold coming from me because I'm classic do as I say, not as I do. Because again, I definitely feel in the same boat. But at the very least, as a bystander, I can only hope, again, that she's ultimately in a better place here. So, but yeah, super relatable, but also really damn catchy. I feel like I didn't really harp on that enough as well. Like this, I don't even totally know what this section is, pre-chorus or the chorus, but like, no, it's normal. I know I'm human. Super catchy. Like already knew it, like even from the first jump. Great lyric writing as well, or melody contour as well. So her impulses from her OCD thinking that if she left, it would be better, but it ends up making things worse. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing as well, where I feel like some of this doubt not just becomes mental, it seeps out into your actions as well. So, okay, let's get into track 8. Tell me what I did.
Tell me what I did. How could you forget
okay.
everything we had? What a fucking switch. Kiss me on my lips. Then fuck a bitch. I was on the tip. You were in the hips. This is what I get. I don't even wanna feel no more. I did everything I did. You wanna be alone. I did everything I
Okay, I'm really liking this beat switch up here. Yeah, nice. Nice. Okay, we're doing on the last one. Okay, we're getting like a true 808 here on this track. This is quite a switch up from the other stylings we've had so far. Also love this snare, just like a rim. Oh, okay. Okay, going up. Nice. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're still going. I thought we were done. Kobe Shack, Tiffany Day, synth ARP. Like, well, I can't tell the difference. Damn, she really be loving those damn synth ARPs. But yeah, I really like the production switch up at the very least. At the absolute very least, I love that. Listen, the hard-hitting electro stuff, bangers. But again, in the context of an album, I really want to, is also someone who wants to learn a little bit more about Tiffany Day, just as an artist, and just get to know her other sounds. I love that kind of opened things up a little bit. I love that opened things up a little bit. Just to know, again, I think it's one thing to have a single, and you can have a banger single, and that's cool. But I think having an album shows range, or can show range. It can be a great display of that, and that's what that song did. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get a 808 after the last 7-8 tracks, but here we are. Like, what are these like granulated like synth things going on top? Like, that was crazy. Like, listen. Great texture work going on here too. I'm assuming she produced this one as well. Yeah, like what the heck? Yeah, I'm curious. I feel like I say this every time that there's a solo artist doing their own, you know, new production and all that, but like hopefully she has like production breakdown stuff, because I'm also kind of curious what she uses as well for music production. Hopefully Ableton. We can pray. Actually, let's find out. Tiffany Day, what doll? You know what I'm saying? Okay, looks like she used Ableton Live. Hey, that's how we know it's good. That's how we know this is good music, because she uses Ableton Live. No shade to FL Studio or the Logic or the Reaper or, you know, everything else, but Ableton's just the best. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. All right, let's get into track 9. Start over. Another big streamer. Bam. Oh, wow, that snare. I might know this one too. This one also sounds kind of familiar. I don't know the lyrics, but I know the melody. This bass was loud, but the synth was really quiet. I'm expecting this to explode by the outro. We were a little bit too subdued and for that first chorus. Doing okay. Hey, 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 hey. Okay. Doing classic push the headphones into my brain moment, so I don't miss a single detail. It's building something, so. Okay. Okay, it's kind of pissing me off how good these drops are. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we're not done with the song, but I'm gonna probably do my comments here, because I just gotta say them. I feel like I love that there's definitely a lot of these more like explosive drop type moments, but I feel like the best way I can describe all these drops is just this music sounds just cathartic. Like, I don't know, it just feels so freeing. Like, it's literally the only way I can describe that. Okay, hang on, I gotta let my cat in real quick. Give me just 1 second. What's going on, bud? Yay, cat on my head, cat breakup, breaking up the stream. What's going on, bud? Ow, 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 don't do that. Okay. Oh, what are you doing? You gotta be more gentle than that. All right, but he's cute though, so I can't even be mad at him. What's going on, bud? Thanks for joining me for Tiffany Day. Listen, Lou knows when I'm listening to bangers. He wants to break into my room every time I'm listening to the best albums. So, okay, almost skipped track 10, Look Up. So let's get into that first. Hey! Track 10, Look Up. Is this track 10?
Act like you know me.
Okay.
Say I'm the one, so you send a text message. I get it, I'm up now. Act like you know me. Wanna know that you can, so you send a little dot saying,
I love the synth work on this one. Okay. Like here, like I love that she's using her vocals as like the synth here. Like really, she's chopping up her vocals in such like a harmonic way, but also in a rhythmic way as well. Wait a second, hang on. Don't want to be someone different, want to be someone else. Okay. Let me stew on this line. I used to look up to you. Wow. I really hope she does just like a production breakdown. I feel like I haven't really said too much on this song, but like I really hope she does like a production breakdown or something, because like this backing thing was like there's like, it's like kind of dissonant, but like in a really cool way. Like there's a couple notes in there. I don't know. That's super duper interesting. But again, I love the way that she's harmonizing in really kind of unique ways here. And again, reiterating, using her voice as an instrument. This was another song where I can make the same argument as, what was it, No Luck / Copycat, where like it kind of slowed things down, but like kind of not. Like we're still kind of keeping the energy here, but like I love like these chops kind of breaking things up a little bit. Like the phrasing of some of these ideas is quite a bit different. I mean, you can make the argument that, you know, I feel like she's using pretty similar sound palettes, but again, I feel like I mentioned this on an earlier track, but she's kind of doing the most with it. So, okay, now we're going to get into track 11, American Girl. Again, I have heard this one already. I have seen this one online. I've listened to this one. I think this one's a banger, but let's listen to it together and maybe we'll pick up on something.
I wish I could be a little more confident, but I overthink everything that I like. Is it cool enough?
Real?
How can I be myself if I don't know who the fuck I am?
There's a little bit more groove on these drums than I remember.
Everything that you do is got me mesmerized.
It's not just a straight rhythm, it's a little bit more bouncy.
You can see right through me. You can see right through, because I'm all up in my head. I'm an American girl. I know I don't look like it. I wanna be part of your world.
God, this is so good.
I promise you, do anything you want me to. I promise you, because I'm all up in my head. I'm an American girl. Don't look like it. I wanna be part of your world. I promise you, I promise you. Do anything you want me to. I promise you.
Oh, wait, hang on, real quick. I'm actually kind of curious on this one. It's getting a little bit more subdued in this verse here, but I haven't really been totally paying super close attention. I feel like I've been really focused on like the synth stuff. But this one feels a little bit more like an organic bass tone, just a little bit of a unique difference here. Just wanted to kind of note. I guess we'll hear where it picks up in this chorus.
But I can't keep focused when you're talking to me. God, I'm getting lost. I wanna be a friend.
I mean, obviously it's really distorted, so it could be a synth or an actual bass, but okay, now that's a synth for sure.
I know I don't look like it. I wanna be part of your world. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you.
But at the very least, it's stylized a little bit differently.
I promise you, because I'm all up in my head.
Oh, man. She really loves these, like... Okay, is it gonna do it again? Yeah, I really love she did this on a couple other songs as well, where like she'll change the harmony on like these repeat passages, either for like a second pre-chorus or whatnot. But not just that, like she only changes, like in this one, she only changes like the first chord, and then the other 3 chords that follow this are the same. So like listen, let's do this first. But now, like, this is not the example I want. A little bit, just a little bit of distance, just to create a little bit of variety and tension. I love that it's just the 1 chord difference, that she's not doing too much. She could have totally reharmonized all that, but I think it's just enough to make it feel fresh. Especially since this is seemingly that chord progression, now repeating, I think that little variety before we get into this totally sets this apart. Okay, hang on, I'm yapping too much. Let's run this back real quick, because I hear this percussion bit going on. Nice. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this one. Unfortunately, if you're watching, there's not going to be as much commentary on this song, because on some of these songs, because it's turning into, this is just kind of a banger. I won't even say it's just a banger, because I feel like that would even kind of discredit this song for how it's kind of packaged. I feel like this song in particular, I feel like some of the songs are a little bit more inherently banger just in terms of vibe, but I don't know, especially on first listen when I heard this song, I mean, obviously some of the other banger tracks are leaning me into the world of what she's actually talking about, but I don't know, I feel like she's doing a really great job of kind of presenting the idea of kind of taking the bitter with the sweet here, right? Like the instrumentation is super duper lively, fun, dancey, but then it's like you listen in and it's like, ah, shit, type moment. And I think that just kind of works perfectly with kind of what she's going through as well, and just kind of her feelings about her own music and just kind of how she feels about herself. And I think just kind of this packaging, this message, it's not only a unique way for the listener, the external listener, the other listener, but I think it's also probably pretty cathartic and a great way of getting these emotions out for herself as well. It'd be one thing to have kind of more truly sad, somber, piano chord ballad stuff, and I think she would do a fantastic job with that, getting her feelings out. But I think having this more up-tempo styling is probably a little bit easier for her to just let the pen go. Just going to kind of go off on a hunch there with that. But yeah, incredible song. I know in the Genius it mentioned a little bit about her kind of Chinese American upbringing, and especially her mentioning her feeling like she's an American girl. I think is also kind of a really important thing as well. Just kind of that representation, or I'm sure that she feels underrepresented, especially probably when she was younger as well. And now she's the American girl, which I think is also really, really empowering as well. So again, this is not just a banger track. I think this really has kind of multiple layers here. So just want to note that as well. Let's get in the track called Farewell Toledo. Okay. Yeah, I really classic me reacting moment when I like the bangers, but like I like when the artists slow things down here. Wait. Oh, good chord. Oh, she held that too. Nice. Yeah, we're really maximizing these chops here too. Okay. It seems like I'm not totally sure if the guitar, I mean, the guitar seems pretty live, whether it's a sample or something, you know, something that she did, or that she had like a band made or whatever, or that she found a sample online with this guitar. I don't know entirely. These drums feel a bit like producer put in, you know, kind of put in, and even kind of this bass, like it feels like a synth bass, but it feels like a real bass. Essentially what I'm getting at is this feels very produced, but I would love to hear the song live. It feels, Lou, what's going on, bud? I would love to hear this live. This definitely feels like this song was meant to be performed live with like a true band, which I think is also kind of funny, because as much as electronic as this album has been, I think her performing with a rock band would go hard, especially for this song.
Kept each other warm. I watched you grow, but it feels like I can't keep up with the pace in your apartment. Gotta go back, finish what I started. I don't wanna go. It's okay.
I love that chord. Also super unique that she holds that one chord too. Now change. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Feeling out that snare hit a little bit more. Little halftime action. Ooh, and the hardest cut we've probably gotten so far, which kind of leads me questioning where we're going to kind of end here, but which also seems to be the longest track as well. But honestly, as far as the slower tracks go, this might be one of my more favorites, which is kind of hard to do considering we have the intro track, Everything I've Ever Wanted, or No Luck as well. I really just... Again, I feel like I always say this. So if you're watching and you've seen a couple of these reactions, it might sound like a broken record, but a lot of these first exposures to these artists, I feel like I'm just always left with the impression of I'm excited to see what else the artist has done and what they do. But realistically, again, I like that. I really like the range here. I like the range. I like the switch up. As much as I love how hard-hitting some of the stuff was in the first half, I'm really appreciating that she's kind of switching things up, showing more of that range, and I don't know, I just like the different stylings. I just think again, it's just really important as an artist. Again, that's why we make albums, is to touch upon a variety of sounds and timbres and themes, and we're doing it. So, okay, let's wrap this up. Let's get into track 13. It's not like that anymore. I feel like we really kind of slowed things down, especially with that hard stop, but I'm not really sure where we're going to go for this outro. I feel like we can really go both ways. I feel like we can either get a really loud, explosive, cathartic outro to kind of end things off, or we can kind of slow things down, but I'm not sure. Let's get into track 13.
Seems like I'm always the first one to reach out to the crowd. You think at this point I've learned it's never that personal, but I can't help wonder if maybe I just stopped reaching out. Would anyone notice me? I confess all of my troubles to you, all of my doubts. You said you'd be there and then you just turned your back around. Everyone's already got someone got it figured out. Would anyone notice if I disappeared?
That was a crazy sound.
If I disappeared, would anyone notice if I disappeared?
Oh. Okay. Actual goosebumps there. Let's go.
I'm just a little lonely.
Ooh. I like that this vocal chop thing's not totally on beat.
I wanna know
That's got me both times now. Okay. I think we're rounding this out. I think we're going both the slow route and the hype route. Wow, this bass. God, I can't wait to listen to this in my car. Oh my god.
I feel so fucking
wow. Okay, well, I'm glad this answered my question about where Tiffany's potentially at now. I apologize. I feel like for quite a bit of this reaction, especially in this song, especially in this outro, I feel like I didn't do potentially enough reacting there. I feel like I kind of just locked it on the music, but unfortunately, I only got a first reaction once. Unfortunately, you have to... It's me talking about the music, but it's also first reaction for me as well. And I just wanted to kind of soak in the sound because the sound palette is just so dense. I just wanted to kind of just soak it in here. Yeah, let's do a quick little skim through just to round this out. Seems like I'm always the first one to reach out to the crowd. Okay, then I think at this point I've learned it's never that personal, but I wonder if I maybe stop reaching out. And then she also, that she's the first one to reach out, but then she mentioned that how she's stopped, asking for help and all that. So kind of a good full circle moment there with the songwriting and expressing what she's going through. But yeah, unfortunately a little bit too relatable on some aspects, this album, and the song. But okay, let's just get into the end album recap. Halo, Tiffany Day. What do we gotta say? This was a nice little surprise. I was, as per usual, I feel like with the Slater album as well, is kind of just going into this expecting just kind of oops all bangers, at least from the little bits that I've heard. Yeah, I heard American Girl, and I knew a little bit how that went, but at least from the way that people were kind of hyping this up being a more hype album, potentially, at least from what I've seen. I don't know, I guess I wasn't totally sure what I was expecting in terms of subject matter, but I mean, right from the jump, I mean, she already had me reeled in. If we're going to mention favorite tracks, I mean, I have to mention the first track. It quite literally got me a little bit teary-eyed, a little bit, which was a kind of a crazy tone setter. I'm glad that, I don't know, on one hand, it's like I'm kind of glad that we had a little bit of a variety of sound, but I don't know, I wish that almost she tapped into that and like another song as well. Just listen, I wanted to cry. I feel like from the opener, I feel like it was leading me in that direction, but again, like I mentioned in a previous song, I forget one of the last ones more recently. I think that this is, again, a little bit taking the bitter with the sweet, the album here. I feel like it's been a lot of kind of blending in or kind of disguising what she's been going through with kind of this package. Not saying that it's inauthentic, because it very well could be in terms of the sound or this progression of her sound, but I'm talking more subject matter wise than anything else here. I think just her, what am I trying to say here? I don't know, I guess just the way she went about this. Seriously, see, what her other music sounded like. Maybe we can do this in the future, or maybe I'll listen to it on my own. I don't know. I'm curious what the sound palette is like, but at the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to recap with. At the end of the day, there's some things where I feel like I try to extrapolate meaning from, and that's kind of what we as the listener do with music. And that's one kind of component of making music, is considering the listener. But at the very least, the part that I know that she meant it for herself, but that I can relate to on a different lens, is through the lens of the artist and the creator. Now again, it doesn't have to be, I'm sure people in all facets that create can be in anything. It doesn't mean music, it could be writing, it can be editing, it can be animating, it could be whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm sure people can understand what Tiffany is going through. And again, I appreciate that, but I don't think that was the intention here with what she was doing. Especially the way that this was kind of spoken about, that this was cathartic for her in terms of how she felt about her music career. I'm happy that this was seemingly cathartic for her first. And I don't think she maybe considered the audience, or maybe as much. I think these dancey tones were just a means to an end in terms of expressing herself. Are they dancey? Are they poppy? Are they catchy? Yes. But I just love an album that's about an artist making music and talking about the process. The highs, the lows, and everything else. I feel like, a lot of the albums that we've done here, but also some of my personal favorite albums are just that. And I don't know, it's really inspiring. So, okay. I don't know, other favorites, I don't know, Same LA, banger. I feel like I should just be a little bit more thorough here. Same LA, banger, No Luck, great slower down track. Tell Me What I Did, nice also switch up. American Girl, banger, another banger, just true banger. But I mean, realistically, I feel like this was all pretty oops all bangers. So, okay. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you guys next week. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing or doing all the other various tasks that I asked you at the beginning of the video. You can feel free to check this out on Patreon, unedited. It's on there if you want to check that out. Or if you just want to support, or if you want to watch these videos live on Twitch, you can support on Twitch and just watch these. Or if you want to hang out and chat into the Discord channel, we can talk about music or whatever. That's also an option too. But again, like I mentioned earlier, as always, I appreciate you just watching these videos. I really enjoy just learning about new artists, and I'm glad to have added Tiffany to this roster of new artists to kind of check out and kind of keep tabs on as well. So enough yapping. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.